I know. Y'all are probably like, where in the hell have you been? I'm Patrick. This is the Pause Life of Patrick. Again, for what, 9 years now, we have been making videos and I've been sharing my journey. And in December, it's going to be year 10. And I think that is absolutely crazy, but we're here. I think it's year 10. I don't know. I've never been good at math. Anyway, last time we left off, I was in Glasgow and I was talking about the city and I was talking about telemedicine or doctor on demand more specifically, which was not an advertisement for that service. But soon after, I worked a flight to Tel Aviv and I had a wrist injury. So I was out of work for, I think, 6 or 7 months. And that entire process just took me away from YouTube, took me away from a lot of things. If you follow me on social media, at Plus Life Pat, you would have seen that I was staying busy. And now more than ever, I am contactless and had to do my own haircut because I am staying at home and I have no choice but to make it work. So, leading up to that, I kind of wanted to talk to you today about when I first felt like I was getting sick and my husband and what I've been doing since COVID-19 has been wreaking havoc in our country. So, I returned back to work for my injury in January, where I went to Cancun. Beautiful 30-hour layover. So on my way back, I began to get sick, and I had like what was flu-like symptoms. I had a lot of sinus issues, and my doctor basically that I talked to on Doctor on Demand basically told me that he thought it was a sinus infection. At that point in January, none of us are really thinking about COVID-19, but needless to say, it was kind of working its way to the States. So had vacation in February, so I was gone for 2 weeks. And when I returned, the conversation about coronavirus was definitely increasing. The fear of it was definitely at an all-time high. And so I worked a trip to LA. And in LA, I just stayed in my room. Literally, I went down to the bar for like a drink. And then I stayed in. And yeah, I just really didn't want to take any chances in LA because that's where stuff was really starting to pop off. And so soon after, I did a trip to London. And that's when it was getting bad because that's when, you know, number 45 or our president, Trump, started to talk about shutting down borders. And basically, our flight was empty going to London because a lot of people canceled. They did not know that there were going to be other flights. They were just fearful. So they just canceled and we went almost empty to London. And it was kind of scary. I mean, you're deemed as a flight attendant an essential worker in the transportation sector. So you don't have a choice. You still got to go to work. So anyway, I went to work and stayed in the hotel the entire time. And literally on the way back, it was a full flight and people were just trying to get back because we were the last flight from my airline that was running service back to New York, or really, I think stateside for that part. So on the plane, people were just thankful, but still, people were not washing their hands. I had one person walk up and say he thought he had coronavirus because he was super sick, to the point where like the CDC called our airline, which called our pilots and told us that they were going to do, I guess, screening on us when we got into New York. So land in New York, we get to the gate, and nothing. They just start deplaning people. So apparently Emirates had came in right behind us. And so I guess the CDC representatives there who were doing the screening ran to Emirates just because I guess they were more fearful of other countries and London not being one. So there's to that. But I get back to Richmond the next day on our flight to Richmond. There was a flight attendant for another airline, not the same one I work for. And she was complaining about feeling sick and flu-like and not having any taste. And I just put my little mask on and I sat away from her. And I got home and my dumb ass, excuse me, didn't think to quarantine, didn't think, of anything. I just, I'm always a hand washer. I don't really touch my face, So even before this had hit, I had always had high hygiene or high knowledge of the importance of hygiene or just cleaning your hands or, coughing into your elbow or into a napkin and throwing it away. That's just the public health side of me. So we basically get home, we cuddle, we kiss, we're really close. So the next day, I was holding my husband and he starts to get sick. Like his temperature's rising. And I didn't have a thermometer, but I was like, "You're hot." So fast forward, I get a thermometer. He's at 103. I'm at around 102. We dealt with that for like 3 days. And then literally on day three, I get a call from my airline saying that I was exposed to someone who had COVID-19. So at that point, still no one was testing. No one in the Commonwealth of Virginia wanted to test us. So I had to go through my work and use it as a workplace exposure um, to basically get me tested. My spouse still went behind me and they tested him. And that's a whole other story because they did the wrong test, but that test came back negative. But I'll add another video of me talking through it, but it was really an emotional time being at a hospital and finally being seen and being miserable and seeing my husband really struggle for upwards to a week and not being able to get any help. So after getting the negative test results, we began to take things really seriously and we buckled down. I mean, we basically are in the house. We brought all the stuff that we wanted, and we still go out and do our grocery runs and stuff, but we are good to go. We made sure that we're good. So that's pretty much what we've been going through. And I mean, I guess what have I been up to? I've just been working this beautiful kind of pause life of Patrick or plus life of Pat studio, and we've been hanging out with the animals, the guinea pigs, the dogs, the cats. I've been working also on the garden, and we just been relaxing, spending time with my husband as well. And we brought our mother-in-law, or my mother-in-law, down from New York. So we have just been really focused on being in the house and staying in place, really isolating ourselves because my mom turned 60 next month. So I want to make sure that I could at least see her. So I am not talking to anybody. I'm not messing around with anybody. If you see me in the streets, don't even walk up to me because I will ghost you. So I'm just letting you know because I got to see my mom make it to 60 because for her it's a big year. And we'll probably talk about that later when I feel more comfortable talking about that. But it's just a big time for her and an emotional one as well. So 60 is a big year. So we've just been relaxing, and I know I haven't made videos. I'm going to be working on it. There's no excuse for it. But, it's just been hard. I mean, I've been in school. I've been doing the grad school thing, and that's going well. I will have about, I think after this course, maybe 5 more classes left. So I'm looking to graduate at the end of next year if all goes well. I've been practicing, and I will be practicing during this time, my Japanese and Spanish to try to get language qualified um, at work and so I can work specific roots to those languages. Don't mind the noise, that's just the guinea pigs. So, but I think other than that, I've just been really playing my Switch. I'm really right now into Animal Crossing New Horizons. When I tell you, it is everything. It is pretty much all I've been playing right now. I will leave my stuff up so you can find me and we can play together. But this game has been everything to me. Just to have your own little island and interact with your friends and stuff, and all my flight attendant friends have it. So it's just really been cool to play alongside them and be super shady and funny. So yeah, this Switch has been a lifesaver. Also playing PlayStation 4 and a new Final Fantasy remake. Just dope, man. So that's been it. And I mean, I will be making more videos, I promise you, but it's just been a long time coming. And, getting closer to year 10, I guess I can do the math somewhere. Let me see. Oh, yeah, I'm at year 9. So next year is year 10. So for me, this is a big year for me. And I'm still here. I'm still being resilient. I'm still trying to focus on my health. I'm not going to lie to you, staying adherent to my medication is getting harder. And that's just because, you with being at home, you're waking up, you're going to bed at 5 a.m., you're waking up at 2, you're waking up at 3. And I'm just all over the place. And those alarms I am ignoring because I know I don't have to be at work. And I'm trying to get myself on a schedule, but it's hard. And to be honest with you, that's been hard. The adherence, going 10 years strong. I think in the beginning I was all gung-ho about it. And as I've kind of crept along the, 10 year of living with HIV, I've got to the point where like now at year 9, I'm kind of like even kind of at 8. I was just like, oh, Mr. Med, And I should be like freaking out like I was in the beginning. But I guess that comes with time, and that's what I've been dealing with. It's just basically being in a place where I'm learning more about my body. I guess when you are going through something like this, and with me, I also have meningitis or Malaire's meningitis, which is like a chronic form of meningitis, HSV2, which I've been open about. So for me, I've been going through a lot. And so being where I'm at now, I'm just learning to listen to my body. And at being 31, I'm telling you, I know I don't look the same from my video, how I found out I was positive, which has hitting 1 million views, by the way. But I don't look the same. Daddy has put on some weight. And even with this coronavirus thing going on, our gyms have been closed, so I haven't been able to go. And the food is just more delicious. It tastes even better with my husband's mother-in-law being here and having that Dominican cooking and having that fried rice. And she made donuts the other night. I'm just saying, I was just looking for some water, but it's just been so damn good. And my ass is just eating nonstop. And I'm not counting no points. I'm not watching what I'm doing, but I've been taking my little probiotic and my fiber. And even today, I was like, I'm just going to have a shake, had fish tacos. So that just puts things into perspective. So I've just been pushing through. And, with this, I don't play games with being sick. 2 years ago, I was working a flight to not St. Martin, I was going to Aruba. And I got sick and passed out in flight and woke up with an IV in my arm. And then they were plugging in the automatic external defibrillator to shock me. And come to find out, I was in the hospital for a week and they thought I had Ebola. Then they thought I had malaria, and it ended up being E. coli. E. coli almost snatched me out the game. Bubble guts almost snatched me out the game. I'm not playing with no COVID-19. I refuse to. I'm telling you, when I go out, I take my 6 feet. If you get into my space, I'm going to give you a look and I'm going to say something. We were at Sam's Club, my husband and I, yesterday, actually 2 days ago, and we get up, we're getting up to the line to go in. I'm like barking at my husband like I usually do, like, get the pass out. And he's like blowing me off. So we get up to the door, and by this time we are like 5 or 6 people deep, like to get in, and there are like 10 people behind us. So we get up to the gate, the area to go in, and they want to see the ID. And so he's trying to pull up the app. Well, the guy behind us gets impatient, so he's trying to go around us again, breaking freaking 6 feet rule. And so he wants me to move, and I'm like, I'm not moving. I just look at him. My mask is on. I'm looking at him like, no, you have your mask on too. Why are you even near me? Just be patient. You were patient all the way up here before you go into the store. Just be patient. That's why I don't like going out. My husband today, he wanted to go out, and yesterday he went, I'm not even going to the mechanic. I'm just not risking it. I just refuse to risk it. So this has just been some interesting times, and to the point where even I don't even want to talk to my neighbors like that hardly. I know it's to be neighborly, but it's been 2 years. I feel like every 2 years I get sick, so I cannot risk it. I refuse to risk it, especially when my mother's 60th. I'm not playing with that. But Florida's opening up, Georgia's opening up. Y'all have fun. I'm staying at home. With the airlines, I'm on leave until I guess August 1st. I'm going to enjoy my leave. I feel like everybody, if you're off of work right now, pick up a talent, pick up a skill, because again, for me, especially in the aviation industry, I don't know after August if I'm going to have a job. So for me, it's advantageous of me right now to sit back and get my little education, finish up my master's course as fast as I can, do some certification courses, and really motivate my husband to figure out if he wants to go to nursing school or carry on another skill, because we don't know how this is going to affect our economy and jobs. And for us, we've been thankful. Like, we've been able to do telemedicine with my doctor and get my meds still. CVS has been great with their delivery that they're doing. And I think we're expecting a package tomorrow for my meds. And other than that, we have just been really focused on staying at home and being healthy. And I think I'm going to start Taibo tomorrow because I realized it's on Amazon Prime. You should see my husband. He's on his phone, but I can feel him just glaring at me. But that's been it. I've just been chilling, and I really can't wait to go back and fly again. Typically during the summer, I love to go to Glasgow. That was in my last video, and I'm kind of bummed because I really wanted this guy to cut my hair there, and I don't think we're going to be going this summer. I mean, I'm not going to be going back to work until August, so it's a little bit of a bummer for me. But other than that, just take care of yourselves. I mean, I don't touch my face. I know I just did, but don't touch your face. Wear your mask right. Take them off right. Wear your gloves right. Take your gloves off right. Social distance. Girl, I know you haven't seen your friend in years. I get it. I know you haven't seen your friend what seems like years, but it's actually been maybe about a month. FaceTime. You shut out through your window. Drive by and just, yell out, love you, mean it, bye. I mean, it's just not worth it. Like, as flight attendants, we've lost so many flight attendants. Medical workers have as well, but also people that work at grocery stores. It's just not even worth it. And for me, I know the CDC says that, for folks who are positive, and undetectable, you're somewhat safe. But for me, I have a whole bunch of issues. I just don't even want to risk it. So I just stay in the house. And this is an introvert's dream. When I tell you I love just being in the house, the only issue is when I left off of being injured and went back to work, I started losing weight. And now I'm back doing what I did before, so I'm gaining weight. I'm just sitting on my butt. So I just have to find ways to be more active. But other than that, I've just been sitting here focused on school and trying to learn some languages and practice them, really more practice languages, and just relax with my animals and take some time for me, and playing Animal Crossing. So I'm going to wrap this up. It was such a joy being able to talk to y'all and, ask your questions. If you want me to have a certain answer to a question or tell a particular story, please let me know, because all I do right now is do schoolwork and play Animal Crossing, so I have time. So take care of yourselves. Remember, positivity is everything. It's the most essential component of being able to live a happy and healthy life, and look out for one another. If you can volunteer, do so. If you have a skill that you can utilize now, do it. I volunteered as a Virginia medical volunteer, and although I'm not being used yet, I'm ready to be used when the time has come. So y'all should think about doing the same. So again, positivity is everything. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time. Bye. I rambled in there, didn't I? Did I ramble near the end? So we just are in the process of finalizing the office, and now I can say, without a shadow of a doubt, sir, you've come up short on rent this month. How would you like to pay for it?
I ain't playing.